What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into this 2022 NCAA Tournament Bracketology 307. Yes, we are finally in this, man. We only got 6 days till Selection Sunday. It is Champ Week. 3 tickets have been punched already with Murray State, Longwood, and I believe it's Loyola Chicago. That's the other one. But yeah, so anyway, let's get into this tournament. Starting out with the top overall seed is going to be Gonzaga, of course. First team out, Indiana, after barely losing to Purdue. I think they deserve a tournament spot, but right now they're out. And then SMU is the last team in. This is a must-win game coming up against Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. If you want to go and check out my Big Ten tournament predictions, you can, as well as my American. I basically made almost like any tournament you could think of, besides some of the pretty obvious ones or just the low seed ones. Anyway, let's look at the last 4 byes. We got Wake Forest, Creighton, Memphis, who just crushed Houston yesterday, and Michigan, who beat Ohio State yesterday. Then the last 4 in, we got Xavier, Wyoming, Rutgers, who barely beat Indiana by 3. And we got SMU. And then the first 4 out, Indiana, obviously, like I said, they barely lost to Purdue. And BYU, man, it was such a tough loss to San Francisco. Now their odds are looking very slim of them making the tournament. I hope they do, but it doesn't look very good. And then we got Dayton and Virginia Tech. Then the next route, we got Virginia, VCU, Florida, and Texas A&M. So anyway, let's get into this bracket, starting out with that 12 seed, Wyoming dropping down to that spot. And then SMU new to the field at 12. And then in the West, we got San Diego State jumping up to a 9. Arkansas is going to be jumping up to a 4, as well as Wake Forest dropping down to a 10. And Long Beach State jumping up to a 15. Michigan State's going to be dropping down to an 8. San Francisco is going to be jumping up to a 9. Creighton's going to be dropping down to 10. It's interesting that Duke and Wisconsin aren't dropping down after losing to Nebraska and North Carolina in Coach K's last game. But they're staying put. And then anyway, North Carolina, obviously, after they beat Duke on Saturday, jumping up to an 8. Iowa State, losing to Baylor, is going to be dropping down to a 9. Chattanooga is going to be dropping down to a 13. Loyola Chicago, obviously, that automatic qualifier right there, at an 11. Montana State's going to be jumping up to a 14. Marquette going to be jumping up to a 7. Miami dropping down to a 10. Auburn going to be dropping down to a 2. Did they lose this weekend? I think they did. Or it was just Kansas going up. I forgot. I mean, it was just so much games this weekend. Anyway, in the East, we got Kansas jumping up to a 1. Georgia State's going to be new to the field at a 16. Toledo's going to be dropping down to a 13. And Memphis going to be jumping up to an 11. And then Tucson going to be dropping down to a 14. So let's get into this bracket. Starting out this first 4, I do believe Rutgers will be able to beat SMU, man. That's not right. Not Xavier gets Wyoming. What was it? Alcorn State against Nicholas against Alcorn State. That's my bad, guys. I do like Nicholas in this game. I'm just going to put Nicholas and then pick them. I think Nicholas is going to be able to beat Alcorn State. And then we got Xavier and Memphis in the right spot over here. I do like Memphis in this game. Xavier's not the best team right there. And then Cleveland State against Bryant. I'm going to go Cleveland State. They're not that Bryant. There you go. All right. So anyway, let's get into this bracket. This is going to start with Gonzaga against Nicholas. I don't think Gonzaga loses that game. TCU against San Diego State, a good matchup. San Diego State is a great team there, but I do like the 8 seed TCU to win that game. That's a toss-up right there, to be honest with you. North Texas, I'm going to go with the 12-5 upset for our first upset of this tournament predictions. UConn, I like UConn, but I also don't like them. It's kind of in the middle, and when they're going to be able to go up against the Mean Green, who I think might just be the best 12 seed, that's an easy upset for me to pick. I'll go North Texas, and then Arkansas, I think, can beat Vermont. After Arkansas lost to Tennessee barely, they're still jumping up for that. But I'm just going to say this, it really was a testament to Arkansas. They were down big. They fought back and nearly won that game. And then anyway, LSU against Michigan. Good game. Michigan's a threat to the Sweet 16. I think that they could pull off this upset and beat LSU. And then Texas Tech, I think, beats Seattle. Good matchup here between Colorado State. I'll go Colorado State over Wake Forest. And Wisconsin, I think, beats Long Beach State. So then down here we got Kansas, I think, could beat Georgia State. Murray State, I think, could pull off the 9/8 upset, although that's a great matchup there. Houston, I think, could beat Wyoming. Illinois, I think, could beat Toledo. And I'm going to go with another 11/6. Memphis. I feel like Memphis just dominated. Coming off a win to Rutgers, Xavier in that last game. Memphis just coming off in this game. They're going to play some good basketball, I think. And they're going to go out, get this win over Ohio State. I really do like this Memphis team, and I think that they're going to get the win. And then Villanova, I think, could beat Tucson, as well as Notre Dame, I think, pulls with the 10/7 upset. Don't really like either of those teams there, but I'm going to go with Notre Dame. And then Kentucky, I think, beats Longwood. And then over here, Baylor, I think, could beat Norfolk State. San Francisco, after beating BYU, impressive game. I think that they can survive against Michigan State, who's just not looking like themselves lately. And then we got South Dakota State, I think, can pull off the 12/5 upset. We are just raining some upsets here. South Dakota State, undefeated in conference play. I really do hope they win their conference tournament. This is a team that can pull off some upsets, and I do think that they can beat Alabama. UCLA gets Iona, man. I'm going to go with a 13/4. We are just raining some upsets right now, 3 in a row. Iona is a solid team, and UCLA struggling. They beat, I forgot who, but they beat someone this weekend. But I'm not sold on UCLA this year. I think that they're due for an early upset. So that's why I'm going to go with Iona. And then I'm going to end this upset streak. Davidson's a great team, but Iowa is just so good. I don't think they lose in the first round. Tennessee, I think, beats Princeton. Creighton against Boise State. Good matchup, but I'll go the 10/7 upset there. I really do like Creighton in that game. And Duke, I think, beats Jacksonville State. So we're going. This tournament's going to be crazy, man. I have a right to go with a lot of upsets here. Arizona, I do think, beats Cleveland State. North Carolina, a great team right there. I think that they can pull off the win over Iowa State. Not the biggest fan of Texas. I'm going to go with the 12/5 upset. Why not? Rutgers is a hot team. I feel like that they could pull off that win and beat Texas. So upsets going like crazy in this first round here. I feel like there's a lot of teams that could bust people's brackets this year. Providence, I do think, beats Chattanooga, although Chattanooga is a good team that you should watch out for. St. Mary's against Davidson. I'm sorry. I did this again. Loyola Chicago right there. Yeah. All right. My bad. Loyola. Did I change any of this? All right, we did. All right, that was just the one. All right, I was just making sure. Anyway, Loyola Chicago, St. Mary's, I do think could beat Loyola. Purdue, I think could beat Montana State. Marquette gets Miami. Good game. Man, that's actually a really good matchup. I'll go Marquette in that game, though. And then Auburn, I think, beats Colgate. So for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Gonzaga beating TCU. Arkansas, I think, could survive against North Texas, although that is a solid matchup. Arkansas is just too hot right now for me to pick against them. Michigan against Texas Tech. I'm going to go with the 11 seed. A Cinderella run for Michigan. Juwan Howard's coming back. This team just beat Ohio State. Texas Tech, a little bit struggling lately. I'm not the biggest fan of Texas Tech, and I feel like Michigan is a Sweet 16 threat, and I think that they can win that game and advance on. As well as Wisconsin, I think could beat Colorado State to advance to play Michigan in a Big Ten battle. Kansas gets Murray State. We're going to go all the way on Murray State, the 9/1. Kansas is a good 1 seed, but not really the typical good, solid 1 seed that you see it right there. Usually you're going to see like a much better team, and I feel like Murray State is a threat to beat a 1 seed this year. And if it's Kansas that's the 1 seed, so be it. I think that Murray State can win that game. And then Houston against Illinois. Good game, but I'll go. I'm going to go Illinois. Didn't I pick the 12 Wyoming to? I think I picked this. I meant to pick this, by the way, guys. I don't think Houston wins that game at all. So I'm changing my pick or something here, but I do think Wyoming is that better team in that game. Plus, especially, I feel like they can win that game. But Illinois, I think, could beat either of those teams. And then Villanova, I think, could beat Memphis, and Kentucky could beat Notre Dame. And then over here, Baylor, I do think, beats San Francisco. And we got a battle of a 12 versus 13 seeds. South Dakota State, I think, could beat Iona in that game. Tennessee against Iowa, good game here, man. Actually a really good game. I don't see the upset happening. Tennessee's a great team there. I don't see the upset happening. I mean, I definitely could see it happening, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'll go Tennessee. And then, Duke, man. Coach K's last season, they're going to fight. But Creighton, why not? The 10-2 upset here. We are going crazy upsets. Creighton is a great team to watch out for in the tournament. I've been a fan of them all year. Duke, kind of iffy right there. I mean, they don't really have any championship experience. They are due for an upset, I think, especially against a good Creighton team. If Boise State won that game, I think that Boise State could win. And then Arizona against North Carolina, as good as Arizona's the threat, but I don't think that they're going to be able to beat a very good Arizona team. I meant North Carolina's a threat, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Arizona. And then Rutgers against Providence. Don't see the upset happening there. I'll go Providence. St. Mary's against Purdue. St. Mary's is a good team, but I'm starting to grow a little bit more on Purdue. I'm going to go Purdue in that game. And Auburn against Marquette. I'm going to go Auburn to advance on. So chalk right here. But other than that, it's just chaos. Gonzaga against Arkansas. I'm going to go with the 4-1. I do not think this is Gonzaga's year at all. I feel like they're young, and they're just not ready to go for a championship run. And I feel like Arkansas is a red-hot team. I wouldn't say I was expecting Gonzaga to get eliminated this early, but if they're going to go up against Arkansas, I feel like that upset could easily happen. Arkansas is a Final Four threat right there. And then Michigan gets Wisconsin. Michigan's playing great ball, but Wisconsin's a very solid team at number 2. I don't see that upset happening. I'll go Wisconsin. Murray State against Illinois. A great matchup. I'm going to go Illinois, though. Illinois is a good team, so we got 2 4 seeds in the Elite 8. Kentucky, I do think, could beat Villanova, but another great matchup. We got a lot of good matchups in the Sweet 16. Baylor against South Dakota State, man. What a matchup. Well, what a matchup. I think Baylor can easily win that game. But a good run for South Dakota State in the Cinderella story. Tennessee against Creighton. Don't see the upset happening there. Tennessee's a good team at 3. I think that they can win that game. And then Arizona against Providence. Don't see the upset happening there. I'm going to go Arizona. And then Purdue against Auburn. Purdue is a good, solid team there, and I'm starting to grow on Purdue. I don't see Auburn pulling off that win. I'm going to go Purdue. I think that's the only 3 seed. No, never mind. We got plenty. But anyway, now we're getting into the Final Four. Arkansas, Wisconsin. What a wild bracketology already. Arkansas, Wisconsin. Good matchup. Arkansas is hot. Wisconsin kind of is. I'm going to go Arkansas, the 4 seed. Why not? That's a great matchup. But Arkansas is a very solid team right there. I think that they can advance on to the Final Four. Then Illinois, Kentucky, another SEC Big Ten matchup. And I feel like the Big Ten falls here to Kentucky. Kentucky is a solid, underrated team at number 2. Well, not underrated, but this team is a championship threat. I think that they can beat Arkansas and advance on. Illinois and advance on to the Final Four. So we already got 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. And we're going to throw in a third. Tennessee, I think, pulls off the win over Baylor. Tennessee is a solid team at number 3. I predict them to win the SEC conference championship game. I think that they can do it against Baylor. Baylor, I mean, they're a great team. Don't get me wrong, but I just have a feeling Baylor is not a Final Four team this year, especially after coming off a win last year in the championship. They're not as good. Even though it says Gonzaga and Baylor are the top 2 teams, it is very more even than that. So feel like we have a 3, 2, 4. Do we have a 1? I promise you this was not designed. I do think Arizona can beat Purdue. So 3 of the 4 Big Ten teams are going to fall, I think, in the Elite 8. And I think Arizona is the lone team from outside of the the SEC to make the conference tournament. I just really do like that Arizona team. I feel like that they're due for a Final Four run. And then Arkansas, and now we're in the Final Four. What a bracketology. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4. I promise you guys, this was not set up. I really like these teams, 1 through 4. And I feel like that they're going to be able to win their conference tournaments. I mean, their games. Arkansas, Kentucky, a good matchup, and I'm going to go Kentucky to win that game. In a rematch we're going to have a tight match there, dude. We could see these teams playing in the tournament, the SEC tournament, and I feel like that we're going to see them in the madness. So that would be like 4 matchups between these 2 teams, I believe, or 3. I'm not quite sure. But Tennessee, Arizona, I really do like this Arizona team. I mean, Tennessee is a good team. Coming into this, I don't know if I thought I would pick them to go to the Final Four, but I'm going to go Arizona to win that game and beat Tennessee. And now we got Kentucky against Arizona for the championship. I think Arizona is the champion. I feel like I've solidified. I mean, we've had so much Kentucky-Arizona matchups in the bracketology. I feel like it's just going to happen eventually in this tournament. Arizona, I feel like I've established my place as Arizona is the team that I'm going to probably have picked to win the tournament unless something happens in the Pac-12 tournament. I really do like this Arizona team a lot. It's kind of a risky team to pick, though, because they're in the Pac-12, not the best conference. They only have 3 teams in the tournament. It is a risky pick. I'm going Arizona, though. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hope you all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your bracketology predictions. If you want to check out my conference tournament, you can do so. I have a ton of them. But anyway, guys, enjoy Champ Week. We'll be back for another bracketology soon. Anyway, peace out.